Vikings Seahawks, 10 o'clock Eastern tonight on NFL Network. Jordan Addison, running second string for the Vikings. Jaxon Smith-Njigba, also second string. And again, I don't know what that means when you only show two starters because the number 3 receiver
he's
going to
be
one or two in today's NFL.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I don't think you make that investment in a guy that you don't firmly believe is going to be in your starting lineup. Projects are no longer taken for the most part in the NFL in the first round. You want someone that you can plug in as soon as possible, and we get to see what these guys will do tonight. And there's been a lot more buzz about Smith-Njigba than Addison. And maybe it's just because we expect Addison to be a guy who will command double coverage eventually. With Smith-Njigba, it was more classic slot receiver, but now it's like, well, wait, maybe this guy can do a lot more than that. Maybe this guy's the total package. Maybe this guy can run every route. Maybe this guy can draw double coverage. And holy crap, if you had a guy who was ready to take off with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, all of a sudden this Seahawks offense, passing game, could be unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly, right? And we get those 2 tackles that are second-year guys now. You get them greased up and ready to go so they can protect against Nick Bosa and some of those type of players. They could be dangerous. Definitely with you that Jaxon Smith-Njigba has had more hype around him. I think, slot guy. I certainly questioned how much he separates, right, and how fast he is and all that too. But we've seen in training camp a number of clips of him running by guys. And the other thing, too, where he's different than Jordan Addison, is with the ball in his hand. I mean, he was as dangerous as we've seen the last few years in college football. Breaking tackles, breaking ankles. And he has this weird skill of, like, when the ball's in his hand, he actually looks faster than when the ball's not in his hand. And that's rare. So, yeah, I think there's maybe a little more God-given ability in that department, where Addison is a little bit more – route running and refined and not necessarily going to do the freaky athlete type things that we're accustomed to seeing from a first rounder, right? And that's where, I questioned him being drafted in the first round a little bit. But in this type of offense that really values route runners and things like that, he might not be the kind of guy that's freaky and wows people at training camp. But when you get in the game, he runs the right route. He understands coverages all the time. We look up and we go, whoa, he's got 8 catches for 110 yards. Even though they might have not been like wow, eye-popping plays, I think that's the type of player maybe we expect from Jordan Addison this year.
I think you've just described Cooper Kupp.
You're right. That's
Super Bowl 56 MVP.
And you hope that he can like Cooper Kupp grow that yak ability, right, that we've seen. I don't think anybody thought Cooper Kupp was going to be catching slants and running another 50 yards when they first drafted him, but he's continued to work, get stronger, get faster, to now he's not only the route runner guy, but now he's like, damn, when he's one-on-one, you can throw it up to him. He'll run by a guy. And I hope they're hoping for that type of development with Addison.
And let me say this. I hate to entertain this thought, much less articulate it. I said it yesterday on Paul Allen's show on KFAN in Minneapolis. But until the Vikings sign Justin Jefferson to a mega long-term deal, I will at least have my eye on the possibility that after this season, they dangle Jefferson with some sort of a package to get themselves in range to get their franchise quarterback. Because if we're going to go full-blown analytics in the construction of a roster, franchise quarterback is a hell of a lot more valuable to a team than a franchise receiver. He's going to be there longer, and he's going to have a lot more impact on whether or not that team gets to the playoffs and advances when they get there. The receiver can't throw the ball to himself on 4th and 8 with the season on the line. Case in point. So is Addison a compliment to Jefferson or a replacement for Jefferson? And frankly, to the extent they're even considering that possibility, how Addison performs this year could either make it easier or make it harder to make that swap to try to get Caleb Williams or one of the other great quarterbacks if you could throw Justin Jefferson into the pack. What do you think of that?
Well, that's bold thinking. Right, I'd have a hard time thinking it was going to happen. Just guys like Justin Jefferson are rare. They are rare, and to your point, that you say all the time, they know they got something here. You don't know to the draft completely. You think to a degree, right? And there's that, but okay. I don't see that happening, I guess, is what I'm saying. I think this is one where make him the highest paid receiver in football right now, get it done, okay? And then we can move on. And a year from now, that contract ain't going to look all that bad. And we're going to go, hey, it's pretty good contract by the Vikings. And Justin Jefferson is the 4th highest paid receiver now, right? So I don't imagine that happening, I guess is what I'm saying, Mike.
I know, but the fact that it hasn't happened yet is the thing that has me saying, who knows what'll happen. Crazier things have indeed occurred. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.